Okay, the graph of y equals 2 times the quantity x minus 2 squared plus 3. Well, we start with the graph of y equals x squared. Now, I had a perfectly good one, but with all the arrows and everything, it got kind of obscured, so let me trace it out. Right here it is as far as I drew it, and I labeled it y equals x squared. I'll label it again over here, y equals x squared. Okay, that's the white graph. Now, we want to do 2 times x minus 2 squared plus 3. So let's start with the x squared. We have a vertical stretch factor 2 because we're multiplying by 2. Okay? So if we vertically stretch this by factor 2, we get 2x squared. Okay? When we do, then take each point on this graph and represent the y value by an arrow from the x-axis to that point, and stack 2 of them, and now we have 2 times the y value, so we have a point here. We do the same with this point on the x squared graph, and we get this point, and we do the same over here with this point and this point, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on the 2x squared graph. Now, I didn't label that, and I probably should have. So the orange graph is the graph of y equals 2x squared, at least the approximate graph by the stretching process and so forth. Well, then what do? We replace this x by x minus 2. That gives us a horizontal shift of 2 units. So you see we're step by step matching this expression here. So since we replace x by x minus 2, x has to be 2 units greater in order to give us the same value that we get on the orange graph. So we take the points of the orange graph and we move them all over 2 units. Now, I have a couple of unfortunate points here. So I'm going to kind of smudge them out, and that makes it a little messy, but I just started here. I saw orange, and well, you don't need to know what I did. I made a mistake. Okay, so every point moves over 2 units. Every point of the orange graph, we move over 2 units. From here to here, from here to here, from here to here. And those points then are going to be points on the 2 times quantity x minus 2 squared graph, and that's going to be the blue curve. Then, well, we've got to vertically shift 3 units. That means we're going to add 3 to all our y values. So we're going to have 2 times x minus 2 squared plus 3, and that's the red graph. So here it is. And all we do to get that is we take each point of the blue graph and raise it 3 units. So we have these arrows of length 3 raising that graph up. And here is our final graph. We note that this is a parabola with a vertex at 2, 3, and it's been vertically stretched by factor 2. So it's thinner than the original x squared graph.